Hey, these are XR glasses with the latest Micro OLED screens from Sony. And it is the future. And it will be replacing the Quest 3 around 2027. But today I'm going to show the ugly side of the Micro OLED with the objective screen test. And why this cutting-edge technology is nowhere even near being ready for the mainstream use for the screen quality issues alone. This video has made a big Micro OLED brand to put a long statement addressing multiple Micro OLED issues I will be showing in the video. And admitting the current cutting-edge Micro OLED technology having lots of limitations and not being able to produce an accurate image or colors. And we are stressing that none of Micro OLED panels are meant for the professional use. And any YouTuber showing the professional graphical work, like photo or video editing, on any Micro OLED glasses or goggles, is grossly misrepresenting the product and the technology. Again, my goal in this video is not to trash Sony or any other brand using Micro OLED for XR or VR goggles, or to tell you that people using Micro OLEDs are simply idiots. No, if you like oversaturated vivid colors for your movies and games, it's totally fine. Just like enjoying music with a lot of bass. I'm not here to judge you. My only goal with this video is simply to shine the light on some issues of the Micro OLED and counter the current crazy Micro OLED hype, where people are screaming, shouting and forcing every VR and XR manufacturer to switch to Micro OLED panels like it's some ultimate magic technology to solve all the screen problems, without understanding all the issues that come with the Micro OLED, and that these old LCD headsets still have multiple advantages over the new Micro OLED headsets in terms of the image quality. And it is to everyone's benefit to have a competition and options between Micro OLED models and quality headsets based on mini LED and other competing technologies that are very good already today. So let's get to the actual test. Tiny Micro OLED XR glasses are definitely more comfortable and less intimidating to put on than a big and bulky Quest headset. I definitely can see why companies want for these to work in the future. But I need to shove the glasses to my eye sockets to be able to see the whole screen. And you need to shove every Micro OLED headset so hard lenses basically touch your eyeballs. Lenses like Hon's VR are optional on the Quest headset. They just improve your viewing quality and comfort. But with Micro OLED, prescription lenses is the only way to use this headset. If you wear glasses and I still need to shove this to my face to get the lenses as close to the eyes as possible, which is very annoying and uncomfortable. Companies like Apple and beyond do custom face scans and face cushions and still have users complaining to redo the cushion 1 mm thinner or thicker, because the eyes are actually touching the lenses in those headsets, or are just a millimeter too far, and that already greatly reduces the FOV and the picture quality. So companies like the Beyond always talk a lot about the size and comfort of a small headset, simply trying to distract you of extremely finicky fitting of the glasses and any goggles that use Micro OLED displays. Okay, so I put my glasses on and I'm blown away by the colors, right? No, I'm joking. I'm shocked how oversaturated the image looks on these glasses. They are really trying to sell those saturated OLED colors here. So I went to look for the saturation adjustment slider, which does not exist. Most current XR glasses VR goggles do not even have basic software for basic screen controls. Do you want a vivid colors or do you want a neutral color profile? Like my cheapest Chinese projectors, like every single of my cheapest Chinese projectors have these profiles, which is again so shocking for me. Because Micro OLED manufacturers basically are forcing everyone to watch these oversaturated images, which will make my white skin look orange. And it will bring all the camera noise in the shadows and it will highlight even the video compression artifacts on YouTube. So I should see a perfectly smooth white skin, but I see just random color pixels dancing all over the orange body and shadows going crazy with the noise in the background in the first YouTube videos I have opened. I could not recognize my own pictures in these glasses. They are looking nothing like the actual place I shot those. The burning bright red colors that should have been just light brown muted shades of autumn in the actual pictures I took. Even apps like Elon's Grok Wave Fu has this smoke behind here, which looks very noisy and has strong banding. And I thought Micro OLED is supposed to be all about great colors. So these Sony panels are 8-bit only, but the issue is not even the 8-bit banding. The real issue is needing to compress and correct the image to project it through the XR or VR lenses according to the statement by the manufacturer. And that compression and correction procedure alone creates a lot of various visual and color artifacts. Here is a black and white gradient, but I can see blue and red streaks over it. I can see colors on a black and white image that should not have colors. This is how bad the Micro OLED is. Or maybe this is the future, maybe it's a feature. Micro OLED is so good it allows me to see the colors I have never seen on the same image. Maybe this is why people hype this Micro OLED goggles so much. Obviously, I'm just joking about such a feature. Seeing false colors on a black and white image is of course a huge issue. Lastly, using the same screen test, I did notice the fast-moving shape, looking choppy and having ghosting. Manufacturer admits some mobile iPhone and Android devices will choose the output refresh rate for you. For example, it will set the output to 30 FPS, and there are simply no settings to adjust the refresh on those devices. So content might look choppy on those devices, and there is nothing you can do besides connecting a different device. So I have connected a Steam Deck and it defaults to 90 Hz refresh, and it allows to choose exact resolution and refresh rate I want. But I kept the 90 Hz refresh. And I still could see ghosting in the same test. Manufacturer claims basically Micro OLED has little bit of ghosting even at 90 Hz, and this is normal. And the brighter you will set your screen, the more ghosting you will see. I have my screen brightness set just slightly above the middle. And I still can see a little bit of ghosting on the moving shape. It is nothing too serious, but it isn't great for gaming either. And I do not see any ghosting in the actual game, but that is simply because Steam Deck simply does not have the power to run the game more than 30 FPS. And if I take any VR Micro OLED goggles, for example the Beyond 2, we do not even hide that those panels can run only at 75 Hz and only at a reduced brightness. Putting refresh rate at 90 Hz or increasing the brightness all the way will introduce multiple visual artifacts from the same video compression to ghosting. And by the way, Beyond comes with some completely fantasy claims, like the Micro OLED is somehow magically smoother at 75 Hz than LCD at 90 Hz on your Quest, which is a complete nonsense and the most ridiculous scope I have ever heard. Now, why this is important? Those Micro OLED screens need to shine even brighter in VR goggles. And there is extra distortion from way more complex lens design too. Because in VR goggles you are seeing much larger image, so you need to magnify these tiny Micro OLED panels way more to get the FOV suited for VR. But that is a whole another topic, and if you want a whole video about the Beyond 2, see my Patreon and like, share this video. If this video will generate many views, likes, I will definitely order the Beyond 2 and debunk all fantasy claims with the objective test showing how the headset actually performs. Not only that, but I will show you big YouTubers literally lying to you. Cause I have a Quest 3 and a Pimax headsets, And here is some dude, which by the way is the very first creator on the Beyond webpage. And he just could not stop lying through his whole Beyond 2 video, comparing all the three headsets, trying to sabotage the other two headsets in every test, desperately trying to sell you the Beyond 2 as the ultimate magic headset. And people like him is exactly to blame. For all this insane and unjustified Micro OLED hype we have right now, which is all based on false lies and rigged comparisons with tests, simply trying to help sell you a very expensive headset. Some honest YouTubers already telling their stories how we hate the most expensive headset they have ever bought, completely have stopped using it in just a couple of months. How the headset is so undercooked that it should have been in development for another year like minimum. I definitely recommend the channel and check the actual real dude showing an actual honest experience with the headset. But let's not forget the hard-working YouTubers that sold you these broken Micro OLED headsets too. The Optimum guy has the whole segment where he explains how he is a very honest person. He is not selling you the headset, he is definitely not being paid by the Beyond. It just happened he is just a nice and good boy that the Beyond put his video very first on the shopping page and we promoted that video, to get 2 million views everywhere. Or our German salesman from the MRTV. He's not even hiding about just working selling you the new headsets. Or the poor VR flight sim guy almost breaking for you into tears how little those evil companies do pay for him for his hard work, honestly promoting all these garbage broken headsets in his videos. He even mentioned Mega Next issue once. So please do not attack him if you bought the Mega Next after watching this video and now you are upset about the crappy headset that you cannot even return now. And the issues with the Micro OLED just have no end. So for gaming, Micro OLED is either too dark or has washed out black colors. Yeah, you heard me right, Micro OLED can have washed black colors, just like the cheapest LCDs on your Quest 3 headset. So here's the official statement by the XR. Basically, Micro OLED displays have official collaboration by Sony, and people complain that their games look too dark, we cannot see where to go, because the headset crushes all shadows and gray shades to a complete black on the default Sony profile. And if you Google, if you search Reddit, you will find plenty of threads, people complaining about the games looking too dark on the Micro OLED. So XR has calibrated the screens to their own profile, and basically all that profile does is wash out the black colors like you see on the cheap LCD panels on your Quest 3. And here's the official quote: "We recognize this might slightly affect the depth of blacks, their color optimization profile." So yeah, the only place Micro OLED supposedly should have been great, turns out is not that great too. And by the way, you can play with the settings on the Pimax headsets, or even on my Quest Pro, and make the blacks crush to the same levels as your Micro OLED headset, if you are going for that look. Again, both Pimax and Quest headsets are way cheaper and have multiple other advantages in the lens department, better controllers and etc. over many current Micro OLED models. And I do understand that most YouTubers just make entertainment and clickbait content. We simply do not have the background to even evaluate these headsets and tell anything valuable about the display quality. The only reason I could argue and put a clear evidence about Micro OLED screens in these XR glasses is just 20 years of professional experience working in the video field, working with cameras, displays, having understanding how colors work and how to test the display if it's calibrated accurate for use for professional graphical work. And this is why the manufacturer instantly backed out of any arguing. And the first thing we have stressed that Micro OLED glasses are not meant and we are never advertised for any professional work. they instantly have shifted the blame on YouTubers. If you saw any videos misrepresenting Micro OLED being used for professional graphical work, like doing video editing on the glasses like these, blame those YouTubers for misrepresenting the technology and the product, because current Micro OLED does not have color accuracy, not even for professional but even amateurish YouTube video editing. Again, just remember the example I showed with my photos, looking nothing like they looked at the actual place and, with actual real people I took them with. And I do understand that some people do like oversaturated colors too. Many people already commented things under my post and other video. I love my XR glasses, all movies, games look awesome, there is nothing wrong and they are so perfect. And many people comment similar things about the Beyond One headset. Even if the half screen is not even in focus, we are just in love with the headset, and again, there is nothing wrong with liking oversaturated image or enjoying your XR or VR headset. All I'm saying, please do not push Micro OLED on others, and especially cry that manufacturers are so bad for still making headsets with LCD screens. Because having an ability to choose is the best options for everyone. Instead forcing everyone to watch oversaturated Micro OLED image without even an ability to adjust any of the settings. Because if you want really the top visuals in VR today, I think Pima's Crystal Light is the choice from all the headsets I have tested yet. It has awesome blacks, awesome colors, it is perfectly balanced in that aspect, and it has the best lenses in terms of wide FOV with good overlap for the great 3D effect for VR. No Micro OLED I have tried can even dream to touch the Crystal Light today. And I completely agree that probably in 2027 Meta will come up with Micro OLED XR glasses, and those will set new standards. It's just that today I have not seen or tested a single Micro OLED headset that did not have tons of issues. And the maker of these glasses, XR, has put an official statement that we are buying the most cutting-edge Micro OLED displays from Sony. Like everyone else, with exact same issues and limitations. There are only a handful of Micro OLED panel manufacturers today, and Sony being one of the top of them. Again, this video isn't shitting on the Sony XR or any other brand. I'm just pointing how young the Micro OLED technology is right now, and how many issues they still have to solve. I'm not even covering all the lens issues for Micro OLED VR headsets. Again, if you want, I can make a whole video about lenses alone. Why it is even a bigger problem with no easy solution. We have camera brands fighting with the same issues for decades, with no much progress to show. And all this means that Meta is, as always, having a very optimistic estimate to possibly bring some Micro OLED XR device like this in 2027. But it does not mean even they will be able to address many of the issues I'm showing in the video. And I can definitely see how glasses like this would be super awesome if it would combine, ability to pin Quest windows and using all the hand gestures we have on a Quest with the tiny glasses like this, and we would fix like at least half of these screen quality issues. But even 2027 is a big stretch in my opinion. But we will be able to fix the problems we are discussing right now. And you can watch my other video complaining about the pancake lenses on the Micro OLED DJI goggles here. There are huge issues on all these Micro OLED goggles, and this video has made one of the biggest Micro OLED XR glasses brand to put a long statement admitting that even the cutting-edge Micro OLED screen from the Sony have many limitations and currently just do not produce accurate image or colors by the professional standards. And this might be completely fine for your average consumer. Just like a Blu-ray old Quest 2 headset is perfectly fine for many people. It has multiple issues on those cheap LCD screens and cheap Fresnel lenses, but still millions of people enjoy using that headset and we are happy and there is nothing wrong with that. It just maybe selling these super expensive Micro OLED headsets will become harder after people will start realizing and thinking that Micro OLED automatically doesn't mean some God-sent video quality and colors. It's actually the opposite, like Micro OLED is so new that it has so many issues that need still to be solved. It's not only super high price. By the way, do you think Beyond 2 is already outdated before even the actual headsets are being shipped? We did a video with a VR chat guide recently and accidentally admitted that the Quest 2 has killed base stations back in 2020. And Valve haven't released or updated a single base station product since. And in 2025 it is becoming even more apparent with base stations and base station-based controllers are getting out of stock on every store and getting harder and harder to find. Because obviously Valve is working to make own Quest-like headset, and by the way it could be designed for flat screen gaming just like these glasses. And we might be seeing the last of VR headsets, because everyone from Meta to Google is jumping ship from VR to XR. And there are clear reasons why mainstream people just do not care about the VR. And why those companies are officially giving up on VR this year. After so many clickbait videos about the VR is dying, it's not dead, and boom, it is finally dead. Meta officially has killed Quest 4. We see Google working on a similar XR glasses, not some bulky VR headset. And we see even leaks from Valve and Steam VR about the next PCVR headset, probably being just a glorified Steam Deck with a floating screen. Instead your actual full body thing for VR. But again, that's a whole new topic for another video.